program.
Hey, Facebook family, how you doing on today? We have the best of the best with us. We have Mr. Jeffrey Boney. He is the candidate for Fort Bend County Treasurer. Hey, my friend, how you doing?
Hey, I'm blessed, man. How are you?
I'm so glad you took out the opportunity. I know on today, as he's riding around, he is campaigning and he is going to every stop he can because voting is so serious. We came on today because I wanted to talk to you as family about the fact about voting in America and what's going on, especially with the Democratic Party. My friend, let's get start talking about that voting in America. Tell them what you are, running for as a candidate and why.
Yeah, so I'm running to be the next Fort Bend County Treasurer. The treasurer is in a very important role in the county. The person that is, in essence, the county banker, safeguards the money, ensures that adequate investments are made, sound decisions are made, that our internal controls are strong. And also, a major responsibility is handling payroll. And so, making sure all of our employees are paid, our first responders and all the key people that provide essential services to the residents of Fort Bend County, and also making sure our vendors are paid on time, those that do business with the county. So it's a very important role, not only handling that for the departments across the county, but also for entities like the Fort Bend County Drainage District and the Fort Bend County Toll Road Authority that I just rode on just now to try to get to the next location and spend
Right.
all that money with. So it's a very important role, and I'm excited to not only run to serve in this capacity come November, because right now it's the Democratic primary, and I'm looking to be the nominee to go up against the incumbent November. And so. There's never been a Democrat to hold this seat in the history of Fort Bend County, and I'm excited and looking forward to being the first.
I'm so glad we talked about that. I was looking on last night as far as the stats are concerned, about 700,000 people in Texas for Democrats have voted. Now,
Yes.
that's not to say that that's a lot of people because, again, we have to look at the stats of how many registered voters we have already registered and then how many are Democrats as well as Republicans. What would you say to each one of them as far as voting is concerned? We still in Texas, we have Thursday and Friday, and then, of course, we have Election Day on next Tuesday.
Well, voting is our right. Your vote is your voice, and I'm encouraged by the turnout and the numbers. I'm always going to remain sober and continue to encourage people to get out to vote. But to see this uptick of Democrats voting or Democrats voting in the primary is to me a good sign, and I'm hopeful that we can continue to ride that momentum into November, and encourage more to come vote. And so, right now, I think it's about getting those that have not voted in a long time or that are registered voters that have not voted in primaries or general elections over the past several years for whatever reason, getting them back to the polls. They're already registered Democrats, and we need them to find out what their why. Why are you not voting? Why are you reluctant to vote? Why have you chosen to sit these elections out? And what can we do to get you back? And I think really it's more about us keeping to our promises. We campaign and say we're going to change the world, and then we can't even change a light bulb,
Right.
in many cases. And so I think it's about being consistent and it's about delivering. People are looking for change. And so if they vote for change, they want to see that change. And I'm excited that Democrats. They see what's going on, not only in Washington, D.C., but right in Fort Bend County, Harris County, and surrounding areas, the state of Texas, what they did with redistricting. So there's a lot going on, and there are reasons to get to the polls, but it's not just to vote. It's to vote to bring about change and to have the right qualified people in office. So I'm deeply encouraged about what's happening across the state of Texas, and right in my home county of Fort Bend County. And I just want to see more people turn out to vote. I believe there will be a tremendous uptick over these last 3 days of voting:
Yes.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of early voting, and then of course on election day. One of the things, historically, in the African American community anyway, a lot of African Americans, especially a lot of our elders and those that have been around, those senior seasoned saints that have been around, they don't trust. They don't trust mail ballots in many cases. They don't trust early voting. They
Right.
want to go to the polls
They do.
themselves
They
on
do.
election day and cast their vote. And
They
so
do.
I'm here for it. Of course, I try to encourage everybody and let them know that early voting is safe. Mail ballots are safe. But, whatever you do, I try to encourage you to get to the polls early or vote by mail if you can, because you never know what's going to happen on election day. You don't know what the weather's going to be like, your
Right.
health is going to be like,
Right.
something happening at your job, in
Yes.
your business, in your family,
Yes.
with your car. It's just so many things going on. So if you can get it done early, and you still got 3 days to do that this week. And then should I say 2 days and some change left. You got, and
Right.
then you got election day.
Always. And I'm so glad you said that because something always happens. Something's going on with the machines. I need to go get a different ID. I need to
Yeah.
make sure you take your IDs with you.
Yes, I just had a lady. I just left the polling location earlier at Katy Cinco Ranch, and it was a black elder, and she actually requested a mail ballot, and they sent her a Republican ballot.
Yes.
And she's never voted. She's been in Fort Bend County for 47 years and never voted Republican a day in her life. So
Right.
she caught it and paid attention to it, and immediately, came to vote and told them what happened, and they told her that she needed to bring that ballot to them so that they can discard it, and then allow her to vote Democrat. So there's a lot of going on, man.
Right.
We got to be real vigilant. There's this sample ballot going on. This
Yeah, I wanted
thing
you to talk
called
about
the
that.
Democracy Brief. It's a Republican guy who actually is a paid operative. So there's a special interest group that's going around with this Democracy Brief thing with a what's called a Democrat sample ballot inside of it with these pre-checked people. All people on this ballot are Democrats now. So
Mm,
the people are believing this is from the Democratic Party because they got a big picture of Jasmine Crockett on the front of it. So it looks like it's some official document from the Democrat Party, but it's not. And so these people are coming in confused. And so that's why voter education it's so important, having people at the polls, but also getting out in the community, because this hit the streets at the polls on election day. Has been mailed out to predominantly African American voters in their areas, and it's confusing many of our seniors, and not only that, some of our educated younger voters and African Americans. So we got to stay out and understand that there are people that don't play fair, and they want to steal the election, and then we can't allow them to do that.
I'm so glad you said that. We it's several things that have been happening around the Texas period, and you've
Yeah.
seen a lot of it too. We were just talking when I met you. Even curbside, people don't know that they can do curbside. If you have a
Yeah.
disability or something that's happened, you can come up there. You don't have to walk in. But I
Yeah.
think we need to talk about that you can request curbside.
Yeah, there's so many ways in which you can vote, and of course, the Republicans are trying to make it difficult for us to vote and have access to voting. But listen, this early voting primary, 11 days, 11
Yep.
days to go early vote plus election
Yes.
day. That's 12 days to vote. So if anybody tell me they couldn't get around to it, then I just say no. There's no excuse. If you
Yeah.
can't if you can't vote in person, you can request, if you're 65 and older, a ballot by mail. And if you're not 65 and older, you can request a ballot by mail. If you're going to school, if you're a student abroad or outside of the county, or if you're working abroad somewhere, like my son is working in Corpus right now.
Right,
So you there's no excuse as to you got to look at voting as almost like you look at everything else, like drinking water, like breathing
right.
air.
Mm-hmm.
This is something I gotta do.
Right,
It's something that I must do. It's like it's my right, and I'm not going to give up that right.
right,
When it's time for you to renew your driver's license, you're gonna do everything that it takes to get your license renewed. When you got to renew your car registration, you got to go get the inspection and do all of that, and then go down and pay the money to get your new sticker. That's a process, but it's something that you do mandatorily in your mind, like I gotta do this because it's important to my quality of life and my livelihood and what I do on a day-to-day basis. You got to look
right.
at voting the same way. This is a must.
Yeah, it is a must. And I'm so glad you said that because of the fact that it's an act. It's not the law. There's a John Lewis bill still sitting there. As far as the law is concerned, and it has not passed.
That's correct. But again, we should I shouldn't have to we shouldn't have to beg anybody to vote. I
Right.
mean, I was just at the polls today, like I said, in Cinco, and this white gentleman who's from Northern England came in to vote. He had his list already made. Thankfully, I was out there. I was able to talk to him, and he had not. He had actually made a decision for someone else in my race, but after having talked to me, he voted for me. But I'm saying
Hmm.
all that though to say he made a comment that really, I was it got me a little emotional. I'm a tough guy, but I get a little sensitive too sometimes, especially
Hmm.
when I hear certain things. And this guy said that he registers people to vote, and he talked to two younger African American females, and was encouraging them to vote or register to vote, and they were like, "No, man, that voting stuff ain't for me." Blah blah blah. And then he said, because he's an older guy, he said, I'm from Northern England, and I was old enough to remember seeing the video of your grandmother. He was talking to the young lady of your
Hmm.
grandmothers and grandfathers being bit by dogs on the Edmund Pettus Bridge, and saying to
Mm.
myself, "Oh my God, what they're doing to these people is so wrong." And me being a white European Englishman saying that this is wrong, I said, "Man, we have to vote for change and to change this behavior because what I'm seeing is wrong." And he said, "Fast forward to now, and to hear you say, as two young African American women, that I'm not gonna vote." He said, "What do you say to your grandparents that endured that?" I mean, it was really powerful because I'm
Right.
like, here you got a white guy
Right.
who's from another
Another
country
country. Yeah.
who's telling two black people in this country
Right.
that they should be voting because of what happened to their people, what happened
Right.
to their ancestors, is
Yes.
like, wow. And
Yes.
so, to beg people to vote, man, and to try to tell them why it's important, there's been a failure generationally from the people who I call the beneficiaries of the civil rights struggle, and to now, there's no way we should have forgotten from whence we've come. And
Right.
so I'm on a mission to educate, equip, and empower all of our communities to make sure that we know the importance of our voting, and that when you don't vote, it's still a vote because
Yes.
whoever's elected that you didn't chime in on is still gonna make decisions that impact your daily life.
That's true. That is true. And the other thing too that I'm so glad you spoke on that is the fact that they're our future. Those two young ladies are our future.
Yes.
Those two young
Yeah.
ladies are our future.
Absolutely. And so we can't point the finger and say, "Oh, woe is them." Woe is us. Because
Right.
if we don't, lift as we climb, if we don't get engaged and involved,
Uh-huh.
then we're gonna have generations of ill-informed, disengaged,
Yes.
uneducated
Yes.
individuals that don't make the right decisions on who represents them. And before you know it, the genie's out the bottle,
Right.
and, and Pandora's box has been opened, and
Yes.
everything wrong that could happen is gonna happen by the people that we voted for or did not
Hmm.
choose to vote on.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
click on your camera.
So I'll tell you something. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Oh, perfect. Sounds good. I'm so glad that we were talking about just the voting. There was on last night, and there was President Trump who spoke about what he is going to be doing and what he's doing as far as the country is concerned, and the changes and things like that, what that might look like and what that might seem like in his eyes. I didn't see the whole thing. I didn't look at really any of it. I just looked at the intro of it. And as far as thinking about this, if our young people don't step up and do something and listen and know about it, because they are our future, we're going to be in a world of trouble.
Yeah, man. Listen. Again, the it's on us. We can't we can't use excuses. Hello, hello.
7 o'clock on tomorrow, 7 o'clock on Friday, and then on election day, which is March 3rd. Jeff, you there? Oh, there you are. Okay. I don't see you. Okay. There you go.
Okay.
There you go. You're back. March 3rd. We just wanted to reiterate March 3rd for you. But again, we still have today until 7 o'clock. We have until tomorrow, 7 to 7. And then we have Friday, 7 to 7.
Yes, sir. That is the early voting time, and I want to encourage everybody to do their research
Uh huh.
before they go to the polls. That is better because sometimes just coming to the polls to vote for Jasmine Crockett or whoever you're going to vote for, that one person is not the wisest strategy because there are other things on the ballot, not only races. that are statewide, but they're judicial. Hello.
Hey, I'm here.
Yes, sir.
I'm
I
here.
said there are judicial candidates on the ballot. There are individuals that are more than just Jasmine Crockett.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, on the ballot. So it's important for all of us to vote, do their research before you get to the polls, and be prepared, because I had a lady come and said, I said, I'm running for treasurer. She's like, you running for what? And she said, I'm just coming to vote for Crockett, Jasmine Crockett. I said,
Right.
well, ma'am, when you go in there, there are going to be so many other races that
Right.
impact your life. I said, you're going to have judicial candidates that are going to, that you're going to have to vote on, judges, and then there's me, the treasurer, then there's the district clerk, the county clerk, then you got
Right.
some state representative races, some U.S. Congress races. I said all of these people, and you got 13 amendments that you need to vote on. So there's a lot on that ballot, and you need to go and print you a sample ballot and go research who and what is on the ballot before you
Absolutely.
show up.
Absolutely. There are 13 at the bottom that you have to cut, that you need to look at, that are very, very clear, and some things that people need to know about.
Absolutely. And listen, I just believe in education, in all instances, and especially voter education. So we need to make sure folks are prepared to vote for who they need to vote for, and don't just show up not knowing.
Absolutely. What would you like to leave with the listeners?
Hey, listen, I just want to, first of all, I want to thank you, Dr. Cam Hill,
Thank
for
you.
your voice and your platform to educate folks and to bring information like this to their ears and their eyes, so that they can, be better educated and have more information than they had before your guests and you come on. And so I'll start there. And then lastly, again, I'm on the ballot. If you're in Fort Bend County, I'm number 2 on the ballot for Fort Bend County Treasurer. I'm excited about this race. Looking forward to having you come out and vote for all candidates up and down the ballot that represent you and your values and your needs as a voter, as a constituent, as a taxpayer. Your vote is your voice, and we cannot do this without you. So none of this matters. Jeffrey L. Boney, treasurer, none of that matters if you don't choose me, and if you don't choose whoever. So we need you, and we're asking you to do your research on us and make sure that we are representing the values that are important to you as Democrats, if you are a Democrat. And I'm a proud Democrat, and I'm looking forward to being the next Fort Bend County treasurer. But first, we got to become the nominee to do that. And I'm looking forward to being the first Democrat, which would mean, of course, the first African American to ever hold this seat.
That sounds great. We sure thank you. Jeffrey Boney, candidate for Fort Bend County Treasurer. Is nothing phony about Boney.
Oh, nothing phony about Jeff Boney. Boney, period, baby.
Exactly. Thank you so much, my friend. I
All
appreciate you.
right.
Talk to you
Thank
soon. I
you.
know you're